Hello everybody, welcome back. We are playing QuakeCraft. Let's see here. Where are all the people? Where be the people? Oh, there was one. I was trying to think of a conversation to start. I was trying to think of one topic that I'm like, what's affecting me right now in life that, writers-wise, that other people could relate to. And I was kind of struggling a little bit, and then I was like on Instagram, and then I realized, oh, that's what I'm struggling with lately is it's writers conference season and I'm not going to one and it makes me sad because I know a lot of people who are going to writers conferences and I'm so excited for them. I just wish that I could go too. It's so tough. I mean, yes, there's always that feeling of like being left out kind of thing, but there's also that they're my people. Like I want to hang with my people and I can't. One, because it's expensive. Two, time was not on my side this year for that. And three, I really wasn't prepared to even go to one. I mean, I think socially I would have been really awkward, so it's probably a good thing I didn't go, but it still makes me sad when I see all the pictures and I'm like, I know that person. I wanted to go to that thing. I know that book and especially if you've seen a project and you've like helped like or watched it grow and you're like, I want to be there if it wins, say, an award or something like that, and I want to cheer on the author. And but yeah, welcome to writer conference season. It's both fun and sad. It's sad for the people who can't go and it's fun for the people who can go, and I'm not jealous. I'm very, very happy for all the people who can go. I have tried to go to 3 writers' conferences in my life. None of them have worked out. So, yeah, what are the odds of that? I don't know. But, so apparently I'm not supposed to go to writers' conferences just yet in my life. Maybe I will. Maybe I should explain what a writers' conference is. Because if you're a new writer and you've never gone to a writers' conference, I mean, not that I know all the information. Like, I literally just admitted I have been trying to go to 3... Whoops. GG. Okay, I'll talk more in the next one. But yeah, so it's not like I am a professional at going to writers conferences. Like I said, I just admitted I've never actually gone to writers conferences. I have signed up for at least 3 of them. But none of them worked out. I can share the stories of those. So the first one, I finally decided it was 2020. Okay, right there, you guys already know what's gonna happen. It was 2020, and I was like, I'm gonna finally go to a writers' conference. It'd been years, I'd been writing for a few years, and I was like, I want to try this out because I felt like it was the next step in my writing journey is, being around other writers, I mean, I wasn't quite ready to, because you can, at writers conferences you can talk to editors and publishers and stuff like that. Based on all the research I know, like I said, I've never been there, but basically writers conferences are the way to possibly query and maybe even get, I don't know, a shot at publication. I mean, it's a great place to get your foot in the door. If you know the right people and if you know how to do it right and be professional and stuff like that. But it's a great opportunity for writers. But yeah, so 2020 rolls around and I'm like, I'm going to go to my first writers conference. And I think it was February that I signed up for it. So everybody knows what happened in March of 2020 with the pandemic. So instead of them canceling the writers conference, they ended up doing it online on a Zoom meeting, which everybody knows is not ideal. But it was still fun because with writers' conferences, they do different workshops and stuff like that, like how to craft better characters and really interesting stuff. So there's definitely stuff that you can learn even if you're not, trying to talk with a publisher, trying to get that foot in the door like professionally just yet. You can still learn a lot just by being in that environment. So anybody who's considering going, I would definitely say consider it, but know it is a serious commitment to financially and time-wise. Because sometimes you have to travel and then you get the hotel expenses, but then you even have to pay like the entrance fee or something like that. And then you also have to sign up for certain slots if you want to, talk to editors and so forth and agents and all that. Yeah, I know all the details. No, just kidding. I only know what I know from other people. But yeah, so my first one, they decided to do a Zoom call because of the pandemic, and it really wasn't bad, but the hard part is I was in the middle of midterms for college, so I fell asleep during the Zoom call, and I couldn't go to like any of them except for maybe two, I think. But it was definitely fun though. The couple that I remember. But the thing is, part of a writer's conference is, so I guess I technically actually did go to a writer's conference, and okay, yeah, you got me there. But yeah, but part of the writer's conference experience is actually getting to chat with other writers, chat with people who understand what you're going through, people who can relate to, I don't know, just the journey of being a writer. And so with Zoom calls, that really cuts that out. Okay, there's like no way to have those natural conversations of just hanging out, around a table and talking, or, oh, you're getting a book signing for this one author and you met another author and you became friends. So it's not organic when it's on a Zoom call. I guess that's the word that I'm looking for. So that was my first one. Yeah, middle of midterms, pandemic Zoom call thing. Definitely not ideal. Let's see here. And then my second one, I was actually like, what year was it? Oh my goodness. I signed up fall of 2021. I got an early bird special. Sometimes that's the best way to do that. Other times you might be able to like volunteer at like tables and stuff like that. Just definitely like research the ones that you want to go to. There's so many good options out there. All right. So yeah, so my second writers conference, fall of 2021, I decided I'm going to, get the early bird special or whatever for it, because it was going to take place in February of 2022. And it was going to be a bit of a travel, come on, I can't click. Let me test out my thing. Okay. I'm just slow. Okay. Good to know. All right. But yeah, so my second writers conference, I was, oh my goodness, now I'm like, there's a little bit of a gap in between games, so now I'm like really out of it and I have to get back on track. Sorry for that little tangent. Okay, got someone. Okay, but so for my second, I've said this like 3 or 4 times. For my second writers conference, I ended up, so it was going to be in February of 2022, and it cost me a little bit extra than I was like usually comfortable spending for a writer's conference for an experience that I was like, oh, I don't know how this is going to be. But their previous year, they had a really good, like big name writer, really famous writer that was one of their keynote speakers. And they had other great writers that were going to be there as well. Well, based on the last year, because I don't think they had their guest keynote speakers lined up yet. So they were just showing based on their previous year, the people that they'd had. And I was like, wow, this looks like a really good writers conference, So I was like, okay, it seems like I'm going to really learn a lot from people who know the business really well, who have been in it for a long time, and who are, not just, best-selling named authors, but like really reputable authors. So I was like, okay, this should be worth every penny. And then there was also going to be travel cost of it, because I live in the Midwest, and this is going to be all the way in California. And of course, end of pandemic kind of stuff. They were still a little bit more strict with their stuff in California. So it was definitely one of those things that I knew going into it. There would be stuff like, masks and, validating different things and all that stuff, which I was like totally okay with. But I just knew that the cost of going to California was going to go up significantly. But I was like, you know what? This is something that I wanted to do. And then the pandemic got in the way. And I was like, I'm going to take this opportunity. So I spent more money on it. So I'm sure me sharing my financial situation is probably the best thing, but I do want to be transparent that writers' conferences are not cheap. Okay? Totally. If you guys want to do it, if somebody wants to do it because I've heard that it's just so great to talk to other authors, do workshops, meet and greet all the great people in the industry. But it's not cheap. It's not cheap. And because, like I said, I was going to be traveling, basically halfway across the country just for a writers' conference, not including hotel and all that stuff. I mean, there's so many factors that go into traveling for a writers' conference, or just a writers' conference in general. But so for the second one, though, this one that I'm specifically talking about, I was getting ready to go in January, I think it was, and then all of a sudden they announced, hey. But yeah, so I'm pretty sure it was January that all of a sudden I get an email from the writers' conference people, and they're like, hey, so that writers' conference we're gonna do in February? Yeah, we're rescheduling it until July. And at this point, I think I had already, worked out something, because I wasn't traveling alone. We were going to also do something else while we were in California. And so we had really committed to, our trip to California in February, okay? Specifically February. And we're like, wow, that was a really quick game. But yeah, so here it is, it's February, or it's January, and we find out that the writers' conference that I'm going to go to is basically postponed until July. And there was already commitment stuff made, and so with hotels and stuff like that, and it's like, oh, well, we can't really fix that, and we already had other commitments going on, and so we're like, okay, we're still going to go. And it was a fun trip, but before I'm not going to fill you in on all of our tourist, we went to go see the Golden Gate Bridge. It was so much fun, which it was fun, but I'm not going to tell you guys about my trip to California. I'm talking about writers' conferences. Come on, guys. But yeah, so here I was, without a writers' conference, and it's like a week or so before, and I'm kind of like, oh no, I'm really sad because I just really wanted a writers' conference. I really wanted the experience that I kept hearing from other people that they had, and I'm like, I want to be around other writers. And so then I did more research, and there was another writers' conference that was going to be online, and it was actually going to be a week before the other one, and the reason why I didn't go to that one was because I wanted the in-person experience, or I found out about so Writers Conference 3, I found out about after I registered for Writer Conference 2. And it was going to be a smaller one, Writers Conference 3. So I was like, okay. Hopefully this is not confusing. I'm sorry, guys. And we're done! Next game! Alright, so Writers Conference 3 was going to take place a week before Writers Conference 2 was supposed to take place. Before Writers Conference 2, this is so confusing. Before Writers Conference 2 got postponed. Okay? So, after Writers Conference 2 got postponed, I decided to quickly sign up for Writers Conference 3, which it was going to be an online conference, but I really was like, you know what? It was a lot cheaper. It was a better price. One, because it was going to be a Zoom one again. Oh my goodness. I stopped playing well. Oh my goodness. But yeah, so signed up for Writers Conference 3. It was going to be a Zoom thing again. But it was actually really personalized. Like, they actually had like little packets that they sent out to all the people who are going to be participating, and they sent like snacks and stuff like that, and it was really cute how they did everything. Oh my goodness, okay, we're going to talk really fast, okay? Ah! Everything's fine! We're not panicking! Okay, keep talking. Okay, keep talking, pros, keep talking. But yeah, and then before that writers' conference started, I got COVID and I felt miserable. And so I could not participate because I was sleeping the majority of the time. Yeah, and in case you're wondering, I felt amazing about skipping another writers conference. I was like, why? What are the odds? Okay, signed up for 3 writers conferences and didn't get to go to any of them. Oh yeah, that's what I'm going to tell you guys. Okay, so Writers Conference 2, which then became Writers Conference 3 because it was after Writers Conference 3. Okay, hopefully that still makes sense. But yeah, so I still didn't go to Writers Conference 2 though in July because the prices of plane tickets went up significantly. And some other stuff came up that I was unable to actually like travel for it. And so yeah, I felt great. 3 writers conferences and didn't actually like really attend any of them. Yeah, no, I just realized that recently when I was just seeing so many people go to writers conferences, and I'm like, wait a minute, I've never actually gone to a writers conference, and I'm like, where was I? Was I under a rock? No, it turns out I tried, and it just didn't work out. I'm sure one day I will eventually get to a writers conference. I think they would be a lot of fun. If any of you guys have been to a writers conference, please feel free to leave a comment about that and your experiences, the things that you really liked about them. That would be kind of fun, you know. Gives us other people something to look forward to. Sorry, fake cry, fake cry. Come back here. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm excited for when I eventually get to a writers conference. I just realized recently, I'm like, that's actually a funny story. You know, it's one thing to be like, oh, I tried to go to one, pandemic happened, I just didn't get a chance to try again. But the fact that I tried to do 3, okay, like, I mean, I was apparently not supposed to go to a writers conference. Yeah. It's kind of funny. Yeah, random story. The one thing I do find funny is I'm like, yeah, it's technically writers conference season, but like I said, like there was one that was going to be in like February, and I know for a fact that, well, actually 2 of them were going to be in February, so I'm like, I guess writers conference season can be like 2 times a year. I mean, the summer and in like January, February or something like that. So, or writer's season is every season. Just put that as a slogan. It's a t-shirt. It's a t-shirt. Alright, look at that. I am doing great. I've got 5 kills. I am going strong. Like, look at all these other people. I don't think they've ever played before. No, just kidding. I'm kidding. It's a joke. Alright. Come back. Okay, cool. Come back. Ah! That's the worst, when you're like jumping around and you're just like, I hope I get this person, and then you don't. It's awkward. Mostly for the person who doesn't shoot the other person. Okay, I was doing fine earlier today, and then I just got like... Okay, am I clicking right? Maybe I'm not clicking right. I do, I need to unlock, I need to get certain kill streaks, a certain number of them, in order to unlock my next, okay, that wasn't mine, that was somebody else's, to unlock the next highest, whatever it's called, the speed of my little Quakecraft gun. So I'm excited for that. I didn't realize I'm like halfway there, but I still have a long way to go. A long way to go. Apparently you have to be consistent in order to get a win streak. Ha ha ha. Up. GG. Didn't even make the leaderboard. It's fine. Alright guys, hopefully you enjoyed hearing about my almost experiences with my writers conferences. If you did, consider liking and subscribing. On another note, I realized that it took me 11 Quakecraft games in order to tell a story. So I really hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry for it being a little bit long. Alright, thanks. See you next time.